When I first got wounded, sometime on the helicopter flight, I had a conversation with God. Basically, just asked Him if I could live and return to my daughter and my wife. The mission that day was simply to get to the dam. We were going to stay the night and receive orders of what to do the following day. As soon as I hit the dirt, I hit a pressure plate mine, and immediately just, super loud explosion ringing in my ears. So I look down and there's two huge gaping holes in my camis, and pretty sure I saw blood, and I know I saw cauterized. The camis are all black around the knee. Pretty sure I saw bone, sticking out of the right leg at least. And immediately just looked out at Doc and I was like, "Hey Doc, I need some help. Get over here and help me out." And like milliseconds, Doc and my staff sergeant were both, staff sergeant was at my back and Doc was grabbing down by my legs. I was like, "Hey, I don't know if those things are attached." They got me to the hospital in Bethesda, Maryland within 48 hours of being blown up in Iraq.
Taking my car to the shop that day, and the driver was fixing to drop me back off, and Delissa called me.
And I said, "Michael's hurt. He's got hurt." And she kept saying, "No, no." We got there very quickly. We got there before he did. Dr. Kumar said, "He's not awake, and we don't know when he's going to wake up. So I need you to think about whether or not you want to amputate his legs or go for limb salvage." You can't possibly make that decision. How can you make that decision for somebody else? How could you? What if you make the wrong decision? What if you didn't do what they wanted?
I can still remember when I drove up to the hospital and I seen a guy without any legs. I said, "I can live without legs, but I don't want to live without my son."
Initially when I woke up, everybody was orange. I was wounded May 7th of '06, and I was in Bethesda within 48 hours in the ICU. And when I went up to the ward, like 2 weeks later, it was another 2 weeks before I was able to see my daughter.
He looked like he was glowing. He wanted to touch her so bad. He had tears in his eyes. He just sort of reached his arms out like he was gonna touch her.
He was missing about half of his knee joint, the inside half of the bottom part of the femur, as well as he did not have any of the muscle, tendon, or the kneecap, anything that was necessary to allow him to extend his knee.
We were very concerned looking at his legs, that both of these legs fall into the category of what we consider limb salvage, ones that we would consider amputation being a viable option.
So when Doc Anderson came to me and I'm laying in the bed like this, he's like, we have two options. We can amputate both your legs above the knee, or we can do limb salvage. And I had no doubts when he told me this. I can put your legs back together. I can save your legs.
I think one of the things that made him the best candidate was his mental state. For him to not be in a wheelchair at that point or hobbling around on crutches or a walker, I think was remarkable, and it sort of gave us the feeling that this may be a good guy to try this on.
Things have came a long ways, and I'm just grateful that, thank God every day that he's still alive and that he has had such a good recovery.
People are going to tell you that they're sorry for you, and they're going to tell you, all this stuff, and you look them in the face and you tell them, "Don't feel sorry for me. When I go home and when I go to bed at night, it's next to a hero."